Hey everyone, I'm Marianna, this is Impression Blend, and I am finally back to making videos after some technical difficulties, scheduling difficulties, basically some annoying, random, unplanned stuff that kept me away from all of you. But I am so happy to be back filming today, and what better way to get back into the swing of things than with a Q&A. I know you guys love these, so I asked you yesterday on Instagram, what did you want to know? What burning questions do you still have after all of my previous Q&As that I just never answered? Of course, you will find the playlist with all of my older Q&A videos in the info box below, but you guys had a lot of fun questions, so let's just get right into them. Favorite heist film? Why am I blanking on heist films right now? Potentially Baby Driver, that one came to mind right away, and I do love that film a lot. It's so much fun. Or maybe Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. That is probably my favorite Mission Impossible film to begin with. Please keep them coming because that is easily one of my favorite franchises. Or option number 3, if we count Inception as a heist film, then yes. That one. Latest Christmas classic that you have to watch. I'm not sure if that means my most recent favorite classic that applies to Christmas, or if this means one of the films that I think are going to be classics, but I love watching Harry Potter movies around Christmas, which are definitely classics at this point, and if you don't think they are, then they're definitely going to be. I think a lot of people would agree with me on this one, and I know tons of you love watching Harry Potter films around the holiday season. Let me know if you want me to make a video about my favorite films to watch around the holiday season, because I don't watch a ton of the traditional classics around Christmas and New Year. I kind of have my own mildly strange list of things. So if you want to see that, let me know in the comments. Is there a possible video of the Criterion collection? I actually had a few of you ask this one. Apparently you guys want to see what Criterions I have. And I'm going to tell you right away, I don't have a ton. It's not the tiniest of collections, but it's reasonably small. So it's more than I could show at the moment, but if I make a video separately about this, it wouldn't be too long. At least I don't think so. So let me know if you want me to make this video. But yeah, I had a few people ask about my Criterions. What is the funniest film you have ever seen? I am going to have to go with Some Like It Hot. I absolutely adore this classic comedy. The cast is amazing. Obviously, it's a Marilyn Monroe film. She's just a pleasure to watch, but also Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon, black and white comedy, just beautiful. Love it so much. This is actually probably the film that I've seen the most times out of everything I watched. So there's that. What's a movie that's so disturbing that you didn't have the stomach to finish it? I can't say that that has ever happened. I considered quitting on Martyrs, the French Martyrs, not the remake, at one point, but I'm glad I finished it. I would say there's a pretty low chance of me quitting on a film because it's disturbing. I would quit a film because I think it's terrible and it's a waste of my time, or I can see myself quitting a film that is gratuitously violent, but not because it's disturbing me. It would be because I just think it's gross and I don't need to watch that. But something that's disturbed me so much that I didn't finish it and just couldn't take it, that hasn't happened yet. Do you have a hard time visualizing action scenes in a book? I find myself lost in such scenes. Yes. Oh my God. That is actually one of my biggest struggles reading fantasy and sometimes sci-fi, just because I tend to zone out when it comes to action scenes. I don't visualize the layout of the battle very well and what's happening where. To me, it just seems like everybody is just in the same pile fighting each other, and I forget what's going on where and what the distance is between people. So yeah, it's actually really hard for me to visualize these. The two people who can write battles that are engaging to me are George R.R. Martin, because every battle in A Song of Ice and Fire is just fantastically written, and Joe Abercrombie. I absolutely adore his fantasy novels. If you're looking for dark fantasy that actually has really well written, just nail biting type of battles, read Joe Abercrombie. Most anticipated films of 2021. Dune. Honestly, after this year, I'm very 50-50 on anticipating movies because you just never know what will get rescheduled, canceled, postponed to 3 years later. But yeah, as of right now, it's Dune, and then it's everything else. Do you celebrate any Ukrainian holidays in the States? If so, what's your favorite? I don't celebrate any specifically Ukrainian holidays, but my entire life I have always celebrated New Year's Eve, New Year's Day over Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And that is something that has definitely stayed with me. I think most people you're going to meet from Ukraine, Russia, Belarus would tell you that they celebrate New Year's Eve over Christmas Eve and New Year's Day over Christmas Day. And fun fact, New Year is actually my favorite holiday of the year. I know a lot of you think it's Halloween, and Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, my second favorite holiday of the year, but New Year has always been my most favorite thing to celebrate. Apart from Russian and English, do you know any other languages? Well, I do speak fluent Ukrainian, but other than those three, I don't really speak many languages anymore. I used to speak pretty decent French, and I could probably pick it up pretty easily, but I just haven't used it in years. So if I'm watching a French film, I'm going to watch it with subtitles, even though I can pick out a lot of what they're saying. If I was stuck in a room with a French person, I would probably sound very, very strange, and they would probably have a hard time understanding me. But at one point, I used to actually speak French. Same goes for Polish. Used to speak Polish pretty well. I still understand Polish really well, but if I try to say something, it's a mix of Polish, Russian, and Ukrainian, and it's probably difficult for a Polish person to understand. Leonardo DiCaprio, Joaquin Phoenix, or Christian Bale. Why am I picking just one of these? I guess if I had to, if you're forcing me, I will go with Joaquin Phoenix, but please can I keep all three? What is the first film you remember seeing in theaters? You should go check out my Movies That Changed My Life Part 1 video. I will link that down below, and I 100% answered that question there. And I know, guys, you're waiting for part 2. It's coming. I'm working on it. It has taken ridiculously long, but you're going to see this video before the year ends. I promise it's going to happen. What is one book you'd like to see Denis Villeneuve adapt? Honestly, anything he wants to adapt, I will watch. But if I'm being really picky, I'm of course going to say Night Film by Marisha Pessl. You guys probably remember that one is always at the top of my list of books I want to see adapted on screen. But I think Denis Villeneuve would do an amazing job with it. It is so psychological, it is dark, it is twisted. It's also about, in a way, a very enigmatic and mysterious film director who directs these really messed up horror films that are underground, and there's a whole society surrounding them, and it's all very secretive, and there may or may not be supernatural forces involved. It would be perfect. I think he would do an amazing job with something dark and twisted like that. And generally, please, somebody capable adapt this book already. Favorite East Asian film? I don't know anymore. My gut reaction is to say Old Boy, because that one I absolutely love, and it is 100% one of my all-time favorite films, and I would have said that without a doubt. But now there's Parasite, and that might be it. It's a tough call. It might actually be Parasite. It's that good. What's the strangest thing you've seen in real life? People refusing to wear masks in the middle of a pandemic? That's pretty up there. Would you rather travel 10 years in the past or 10 years in the future, and why? That is definitely 10 years in the future. I just think that it would be a lot more interesting to see what's going on in 2030 than what's going on in 2010, because I've been to 2010. I think future would be a little bit more interesting. What's your favorite Marvel movie? Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you have any concerns about the Dune movie? Anything that might disappoint? I always have concerns about highly anticipated films just because there's so much hype and there's so much pressure, especially with something like Dune. This is a massive undertaking. There's a huge fan base, and this is something that has not done so well before. I mean, the previous adaptations. So yes, there are general concerns that I have, but honestly, if Denis Villeneuve can do it, I don't think anyone can. And after seeing this trailer, it looks amazing, so I'm sure I'm going to love it. I do have a concern though that it will not do very well in theaters and they will not make a second one, and that I'm going to be really sad about if that happens. The best streaming service, in your opinion, that would have to go to HBO. I think they have amazing quality films there and series there, and I just think that one, if I had to just keep one of them, that would be the one I keep. And speaking of HBO, thoughts on Wonder Woman going to streaming. I mean, it is sad that films have to take this route and we won't see some films in theaters as they were meant to be experienced, but I am so glad they are starting to put these things on VOD and on streaming because we need some good, exciting films to watch, and not everything is going to realistically be able to come out in theaters. So I cannot wait to watch it. I'm very excited. What film or films did you not care for upon first viewing, but liked even more on a rewatch? There have definitely been a few films that I liked more on repeat viewing, but the most dramatic score upgrade from me recently was The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, which I did a whole Fincher rewatch for a video that is upcoming. I did not love that film the first time I saw it. I saw it in theaters, never had desire to see it again. I thought it was really, really long. I didn't love it. I gave it a reluctant 7 out of 10 or 3.5 out of 5 back then, but I rewatched it the other day and I absolutely loved it. Upgraded my rating to 9 out of 10. I think I was just too young to really absorb the themes of this film. So yeah, that one, I love it. It's now one of my favorite Fincher films, which I would never have anticipated. Favorite Alfred Hitchcock movies? I'm going to have to go with Rear Window. I still need to watch quite a few more. I haven't watched a ton of his films, but out of what I've seen, even though Psycho is so iconic and so important, I just fell in love with Rear Window. It is wonderful. Favorite film of the year? I am still debating on that one. Right now, it's between Another Round and Pieces of a Woman, but there are a few more movies that have potential, and I honestly don't know. There are a few films that I've seen that I've really loved, and it could go a third way for me, to be honest, because my opinions change. I might rewatch something, and yeah, right now it's between those two. Would you like to run a bookstore or a movie store? 100% a bookstore. I have actually been kind of dreaming of opening a bookstore that would also be a neat little cafe and people could just come and hang out. Not in a Barnes & Noble kind of way where it's just a Starbucks type of thing inside. I would want it to be a legitimate one-of-a-kind cafe and a bookstore that would sell used books and new books. Would love this to be a thing. Have you watched Lovecraft Country? I have not watched it yet. I need to watch it ASAP. I'm planning to watch it. I've been meaning to watch it, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But yes, I will. I'm catching up on Raised by Wolves right now, so that's kind of my priority to finish first. But after that, it's either Succession or Lovecraft Country. Let me know which one I should watch first. A film that's a 10 out of 10 for you, but it's hard to rewatch. Schindler's List. Yeah, that's definitely one of them. I would watch it again though, and I do want to watch it again one day, but yeah, that one's really tough. Classic movies you've been wanting to watch but never got in the mood to watch them. Oh my goodness, I could probably make an entire video about classics that I am yet to watch because there are so many. But you're right, I have to be in a mood to watch a classic film. I don't know why, it's some kind of mental block that I have, but I am much more likely to watch something that's from the past 20 to 30 years than an actual old school classic. I can't explain it. Bergman films are a very good example. I have not seen a single Bergman film. I've not seen a single Fellini film. I don't know why. I'm like 99% sure I'm going to love these directors. I need to do that at some point soon. Do you prefer Ari Aster or Robert Eggers? That is a very tough question because The Witch and Hereditary are some of my favorite horror films, not just of 2010s, but of all time. But I think I am more in tune with Ari Aster at the moment, though I'm so excited for what is that movie that's coming out? Northman? Is that the new Robert Eggers film? I think that's the one. I am so excited to see it whenever that happens. So I obviously love both of them, but at the moment, just considering the films that they have out right now, I'm going to pick Ari Aster. When did you start collecting Blu-rays? I have collected films for as long as I can remember. I remember collecting VHS. I then collected DVDs for a while, and then I sold my entire DVD collection. I only have maybe 5 remaining of just films that aren't available on Blu-ray, and DVD is my only option. And then I switched over to Blu-rays. I could not tell you what year that was. Now that I'm thinking of it, it would have to be somewhere around 2008. But yeah, I've been collecting films in general my entire life. Why do you not review Arabic movies? There are many gems that you can enjoy. I can name some. Absolutely. Please give me recommendations. I love world cinema. I don't like to stick to just Hollywood, and you guys know I love foreign language films in general. So please give me recommendations in the comments below. I would love to watch them. Do you have a genre of movies that you prefer more over others? That would have to be science fiction. That is absolutely my favorite film genre. Would you rather read the book first or watch the movie adaptation? I would absolutely rather read the book first. However, it has happened before where I have seen the movie and then went back to read the book. I am much less motivated to read the book after I've seen the film. So if I didn't read the book before watching the adaptation, chances are pretty low that I'm going to read it, but it has happened before. But as far as my preference goes, I'm definitely the read the book first person. Finally, the last and most important question. What is my favorite dinosaur? I love this question because I was massively into dinosaurs when I was a kid, and my favorite dinosaur is the Triceratops. I just think it looks so cool and so unusual. I mean, just look at it. How can you not think this is the coolest dinosaur out there? All right, guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted a question. If I didn't answer your question, I'm sorry. I have gotten so many. I'm always amazed by how many questions I get when I ask for them. So if I didn't answer yours, I apologize. I will try to answer a few just in my Instagram stories. So after you watch this video, head over to my Instagram and I will answer a few more questions just in the Instagram stories. If it's been over 24 hours since I posted this, there will be a highlight in my profile for Q&A stuff. So don't worry, if you're watching this later, they're still there. Check out my Instagram. I am Impression Blend on there, of course, just as I am on all of my social media. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to everyone who made it to the end of this video. And a very special thank you to my patrons, with an extra special thank you to the patrons whose names are on the screen right now. Thank you to all of you. And if you enjoyed this video, which I hope you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye.